bad.
I went from MC to Provident.
لا أنا في بعد.
We're getting there, guys. He's almost getting ready to join us. We're just getting everything ready for him to come on stage.
هاي.
I remember when I was posting Deal or No Deal, when I was the show of Deal or No Deal. It was like back in the day. Guys, the words in the box. Which pen? What pens are there? Reminds me of the good old days. A few minutes, guys. Just bear with us, and he'll be out on stage ready to rock and roll.
I don't think so. No.
Where's my name from? What's the
I can put I have a little bit of like a monopod there. That's good.
It's fine, I think it's fine.
Fine?
Yeah.
The brightness.
Guys, I'm glad that little notice we have.
ما فينا نعمل شيء brightness.
لا لا أنا موطي البرايتنس إن شاء الله.
هاي مالي. لا عم ليك عم زيح عن البوديوم ما حيوقف على البوديوم.
Big round of applause.
So هيك perfect.
I appreciate everybody coming out today. The way for setting this up, you guys don't know, but this was like on a freaking whim. Like it was, I was supposed to come out to Dubai, then somebody canceled. Then the way I ended up, they're like, hey, you're coming out. Okay, let's do this. So we did it within 2-3 weeks. You guys got everything set up. So I appreciate, first of all, you guys setting this up. Thank you, I appreciate it. And everybody that showed up, thank you for you guys that showed up. Okay? I see a lot of people, even from yesterday, that I recognize. First of all, how many people here have been in their business for over a year? Put your hand up. How many people here, we make income claims because it doesn't matter. How many people here have done over 7 figures in sales? Put your hands up. Shit. See, the people, okay, whoa, so there's a lot. So the people here, I'm going to drop some bombs here sometimes, and F word here. Please come here. Okay, we're okay. So for the people here that just got into their business, please take this as a sign before I even start today. We have a whiteboard, yes. Before I even dive into today, please take it as a sign. There's people in here that have done over 7 figures in sales and they're still here today, still learning, still showing up. And some people won't show up this, they think they're too freaking good, but there's people here that realize, number one, they don't know anything. Anything that they can learn, they can freaking learn, that's it. And they gotta place themselves in positions, like nobody ever wants to place themselves in a position where they get uncomfortable inside of their life or inside of their business. I was speaking to Anthony yesterday. Like there's 2 different types. When I made this video last night, I was on my Instagram. I was on Instagram at 4 a.m. last night because I'm still on Dubai time. But last night, I made a video. I said, you know, you can either complain about what situation you have, like, oh, you know, I came in here, I don't have the right networks, or you could be the individual, like he said. He was telling me a story yesterday, Anthony. He's like, you know, there came a point in my life. You guys know how everybody has like the aha moment, like the light bulb moment where you're just like, I got the wall and inside of my business. I'm like, most people don't get uncomfortable enough, so they never really get results that they want inside of their business. They get way too fancy, way too quick. They make 7 figures, and they're like, oh, nice, I have a Mercedes, you know, I have a Rolls Royce, I'm freaking good. But that means you stop stretching yourself inside your business, now you're dead. So you stop getting uncomfortable. And I'm like, people only get results inside their business when they constantly stay uncomfortable, 24/7. And every time somebody has a result, they get uncomfortable. Meaning, most people, let's say if I wanted to lose weight, it doesn't take 5 years to lose weight. It takes people 5 years to get uncomfortable, to be like, enough is enough. Take off the shirt and look at yourself in the mirror. But most people, when they start losing weight, they put on a hoodie and they start going jogging with the hoodie. Why? Look at the fat on you. Get uncomfortable. When you get uncomfortable, that's when you want to start getting results. You don't like the bank account, look at the bank account. You don't like the business, look at the business. Does it make sense? Yeah. So I'm like, every single time you guys feel like you're getting good, get uncomfortable again inside of the business. Now, I'm going to go through everything. Today we have like 3 hours, so I'm going to go through everything with you guys inside of the business, okay? I might go a lot. You guys can stop me if you have a question. Maybe you can save questions to the end because we'll do Q&A at the end. But I want to do a full-blown on trading today. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to take you guys through a whole process because I feel like the new people that are here that have coaches or mentors, and there's coaches and mentors that need to hear this as well. Because what happens when a lot of people get into sales or they get into business, everybody hears in sales, right? In one way, shape, or form, right? What happens is this. Most people come in and they generalize their complaints of where they're lacking inside their business. What do you mean, Dan? Well, this is what happens. Somebody comes up to the winner, somebody comes up to Anthony, somebody comes up to the coach and they say, you know, I'm struggling inside of the business. You know, everything's difficult. You know, I'm struggling to get customers. Whoa. Wait. Pause. Bob, sit down. Well, what's up? You just generalized the whole business. What do you mean you're struggling with sales? Yeah, you know, it's difficult. I'm struggling. Yeah, but where is my question? Where? You can't just go up to a coach or go up to yourself and say, oh, I'm struggling with sales. Yeah, but there's so much. Sales is freaking easy. Where are you struggling? Meaning, like, this is the easy part. Selling is the closing is the easy part. But everybody thinks this is the hard part inside of business. So when somebody comes up to me and they're like, well, you know, Daniel, I'm struggling with closing. Whoa, stop. Yes, but where? You're not struggling with closing. Closing is easy. You can't close if you don't present. Maybe you're great at closing, but maybe you suck at presenting because you talk for 4 hours and the customer just leaves you. And you've been talking and they're on mute. I just had that done to me like a week and a half ago. Somebody's presenting. I click mute. I'm in my office walking around. He's presenting for 30 minutes. I unmute him and say, yeah, no way. Yeah, really. And then I mute him again, and he keeps talking for another 45 minutes. And he's like, so what do you think? That's us sometimes in sales. And that's a loss of rapport. You guys understand what rapport is, right? No, rapport is not just finding a point of commonality like you learned in 1980. That's not rapport. When people are like, oh, build rapport with somebody, you know, find points in common. That's just not rapport. Rapport is a process of engagement. I can see when somebody's about to get ghosted or somebody's about to flop on a contract, meaning miss a contract, when I can look at a conversation line. You talked for 18 minutes, they said one word. You messaged them 84 times, they responded with what? You're out of rapport. The process of engagement is gone. So when you look at something, are you in rapport with somebody? That's, okay, maybe your presenting's off. Okay, no, again, my presenting's good. Okay, maybe you're just bad at follow-up. Maybe your follow-up sucks because you message people, hey, you ready to buy? So your follow-up sucks. We've all been guilty of that, right? Oh, so are you ready to get started? If you're ready to get started, then start. Stop. You guys get it? That you don't have to annoy people to follow up with somebody and say, hey, you know, you ready? We'll talk about this in a second. Maybe you're great at follow-up, but you can't follow up with nobody, or you can't present to anybody if what? I need some engagement here. What's before that? Presenting. What's before presenting? Team, everybody's been in sales for a while. Come on. Booked an appointment? Actually, maybe the introduction sucks. It's like gibberish. Maybe the introduction is horrible. So somebody asked in a comment, Natalie made a post 2 nights ago. She said, what would you guys want to ask Daniel? Then somebody said this. Somebody said, oh, how would you build urgency? Who asked that question? Somebody said, how do you build urgency? Or how do you make somebody urgent towards that? And somebody asked that question in the comments. Anyways, I've seen it, and then I said, it's good. Somebody said, okay, Daniel, how do you build urgency? So towards the end of the deal, everybody tries to build urgency towards the end. So then they start pressuring people, which, by the way, pressure and urgency are 2 different things. I'll talk about them in a second. But urgency is never built towards the end of the deal. Urgency is always built the opening stage of a conversation. Meaning, you can't get urgent towards the end because it turns into pressure. Urgency is built from the moment somebody meets you in the first 5 seconds of engagement. So maybe the introduction's gone. Well, Dan, what do you mean? Maybe when you call somebody or you're talking to somebody and somebody's like, well, how's your day? And you're like, you know, well, my day's good, you know, Dubai, hot, weather's good, you know, it's lovely here. Your urgency sucks. They don't see you as a boss. You already placed yourself in a position where you're like, okay, I'm just a sales rep. You lost right in the first 5 seconds. Because that's what you're born to do. Okay, you know, build rapport with that individual. But where's urgency? There's no urgency when you picked up the phone. So maybe in the beginning stage, you say, hey, you know what, we are back to back. Things are crazy inside the office right now. We haven't, we've been in the office for 7 days straight. Business is going nuts. But anyways, I just want to better understand what you need, if I can provide and support whatever you need. That way we can provide all your needs when you come into Dubai. Let me ask you a few quick questions. That way I better understand if we can support you. If not, I'll point you in the right direction. But if we could, let me show you exactly what it is that we can do for you. That way it's a win-win situation. Let me ask you a few quick questions. And boom, you get into it. But if you don't have that, if you don't look like a person of urgency in the first 5 minutes, first 5 seconds, people judge you. Welcome to life, especially if it's over a phone call, which we'll get into in the next 5 minutes. So maybe that's off in the first 5 seconds. So always when I go up to my rep, I'm like, dude, where is it? Where is it? Is it in the closing, the presenting, the objections, the follow-up, the introduction? Okay, maybe you're not reaching out to enough people. Maybe you think you suck at sales, but you talk to 3 people, and it's your 4th week in sales, and you talk to 4 people. You don't suck at sales, you haven't talked to nobody. Like, where's this? Wait, let's just pause for a second, because I know we all got fancy with social media and everything. Where has this message came from? And I'm going to get real with you guys now. Where did this message come from? Where it's like, now we got leads in, my company gives me leads, so I'm just going to call the warm leads, and I don't really need a cold call. Whoa, stop. Hold up. I don't need to do marketing because I have good marketing. I'm gonna outsource my social media. Outsource your social media. You haven't even started social media. What are you starting to outsource? I'm gonna pay a guy for ads. You don't even know how to make a video yet. What are you outsourcing? No. In sales, you do both in the beginning. You don't get a pick. If you are blessed to get a lead, work the cold market. You're not maximizing yourself. You don't pick. Oh, I want to do cold. I want to do. No, you do both. That's it. If a salesperson comes into, I didn't even give you guys an introduction actually. So wait, I have a sales agency. I train and outsource sales individuals. We have an office in Miami. We have an office in Toronto. We have 2 offices in Toronto. So that's what I do. Aside from this, the whole training thing, I have salespeople, then we train and we outsource to other companies. If people come into my organization, they are blessed to have a lead. But I'm not going to give them that lead if they're not doing both. You don't pick and choose inside sales. Oh, I want to become a salesperson, but I don't want, no, you market. You do both. You figure a way to do both. You don't pick sales and not pick marketing. Why? Because I realize this. I personally, when sales is heavier, that means you've done less marketing. But when marketing's heavier, you have to do less sales. So maybe you don't suck at this thing. Maybe when they go back to your profile, your marketing is dead. You're dead. You haven't posted for 18 weeks. John, you don't suck at sales. They went back to your profile, your company page, whatever, and you're not active. Oh, but, no. I'm going to go back to it and see if you're active. If you're not in a position where you want to be inside your business, it's different. You're not 7, 8-figure sales. Why haven't you showed up every single day in your marketing? This supports all of this. Your personal brand. And it doesn't mean, you post your listing. That's not personal branding. Posting the listing is not personal branding. Posting the listing, just to say, oh yeah, but Daniel, I did it. Look, I posted about my business. Whoa. I came on your page for you. Where are you? You just posted. That's the sticky and icky stuff. I don't want to see that on your personal brand. Like, I don't see nothing about you. You didn't introduce me to anything. There was no engagement. I just see a post with a quote. Yeah, I just did it. So you're just doing it to say you did it. So there's nothing about you. Now when I come back to your page, you lost all my trust. Why do I want to take my time to sell somebody when I can just be like, okay, this is what I charge, this is what I do? Well, what do you? Go back to my profile. Here's my resume. Go back. I do more selling on there. I do heavier marketing, sales is easier. You do less marketing, sales is harder. Does it make sense? So the harder you put into marketing, the easier sales is. So maybe the personal brand's a little bit weak. So when I go back to some of these conversations, I say, oh, you do a lot, you reach out to a lot of people, and they go back to your profile instead. So maybe I gotta work on that thing. But again, people do either or. So they're like, okay, I'm in sales. Yes, but marketing supports sales. And you are the engine of everything inside of the beginning. You're the salesperson, the assistant, the operations, you are everything. So just go through the whole horizontal. When a person comes up to you and you manage a lot of reps, don't let nobody complain to you. Don't let people blurb and generalize the business, because too many salespeople do that. They come inside a business and they're like, well, I'm struggling. Yeah, but sit down where? You know what the shitty doctor, imagine this. Somebody comes inside of a doctor's office and they're like, doc, my knee hurts, and the doctor gives you eye cream. But doc, the knee. But go take this prescription of eye cream. That would be stupid. That's malpractice, right? So it's the same thing in sales. Nobody dissects to the real problem. You sit down inside the doctor's office, the doctor says, hey, by the way, take a seat. How's the family? How the kids? Good. Dad says, hey, what's going on? Oh, Daniel, doc, my knee hurts a little bit. He's not recommending my eye cream because he's asking about my knee. My knee hurts, first of all. And then what does a shitty doctor do? The bad doctor does this right away. Loses control of the conversation right away. Experienced doctor is going to go a little bit deeper. Bad doctor, bad salesperson does this right away. Okay, perfect. Let me get you the listing right away. So what did you want? Boom, you lost the sale. You're done. Why? You just let the customer take control. So if I come into the doctor's office, how am I going to fool a doctor? A beginner doctor's going to say, okay, so it's been hurting, okay, how long, well, what have you done? Well, I'm starting to fool the guy. Smart doctor's going to say, well, aside from the knee, let me ask you a few questions. How's the family? Good. Perfect. Dad, how much do you weigh? Step on the scale. Shit, you gained some weight. You were in Dubai for 2 weeks. What were you eating? Oh, nice. Okay, nice. Oh, you were in Spain. That's all you're eating, man. I seen your snaps. You're eating a lot of cheese, za'atar bread. Man, you're gaining a lot of weight. You're 25 pounds overweight. How long have you been this overweight? Oh, doc, it's been about 6 months. Oh, nice. Maybe we got it. When's the last time you ran and worked out? It's been 1.5 years. You know how it is on the road, doc. Look what he's getting into. He doesn't care about me. He cares about what I've been doing, what I've been eating, my weight and everything. Most people go to the knee. Daniel, do you have a diet plan? No, I don't. Let's start you off here first. Let's get you to the diet plan first. What else? When's the last time you worked out? Do you have a nutrition? No. Let's get you on here. The knee's not the core root of the problem. Do you see what I mean? It's just that everybody wants to solve right away, so they lost. Because every customer is going to fool you when they come in. Every sales rep tries to fool you when they come in. If you're a sales rep, you try to fool your boss. If you're a prospect, you try to fool the sales rep. That's life. Everybody's fooling everybody. They come in, they think either they have the problem solved or they think they know what their problem is. But they're fooling you. If a prospect comes in, because like a prospect on the other end can only do two things. They can either defend themselves or fool you and hype you up. To get what? Why would they do that? There's a prospect can only be in one of two states inside of sales. They can either fool you a little bit and hype you up to over-embellish your sales so you can get to the price really quickly, or they don't want to make you feel bad, or they can either not tell you anything. And a salesperson can sell the manager and fool the manager, say, oh, I'm struggling, and then the manager goes to solve the pain that they think it's closing, but it's not. They haven't reached out to nobody, or they haven't done any marketing. So the manager hasn't sat down and said, hey, by the way, what's your weight? When's the last time you ran? So to me, I let nobody in my life generalize. And when you can make that boundary as a manager with yourself, nobody comes into my life anymore and complains. Because I say, stop the complaint. Don't tell me you suck at closing. Where? There's a difference between complaining, and having a specific problem inside of your business. Complaining sounds like, sales is super difficult, closing, whoa, complaint right away. I can smell it coming, the next words out of the mouth. A specific problem sounds like this. Hey, Loai, by the way, so I reached out to 18 people yesterday, and these were the conversations that I had with boom, specific problem. Does it make sense? He reached out to people. This was the problem when he reached out to people. Now I get to a specific problem. The complaint sounds like, closing is hard. The market's weak. Stop complaining. Get out of here. That's it. Get out. Don't complain. You allow one person to complain, everybody's going to start complaining with you. And now you will, whatever you do inside of your business with your managers, your reps, your coaches, whatever the case is, it's going to translate now back into your business. Oh, but nobody wants to buy. Everybody's complaining. You know what? Yeah, because you were just complaining to your boss. Welcome to life. That's how it works. So now you need specific challenges. And dissect your whole business. Every single day I go to bed, I dissect my business. Sometimes it's on a grander scale, but I'm never going to say, oh, business is slow. Yeah, but where? What are we doing slow? What's slow? The marketing? Okay, maybe marketing sucks. We haven't put a lot of ad dollars in. Nobody reverses it. Anyways, let's keep going in. Then I said this, a buyer is in 2 states. Is anybody writing notes? Yes. Some people? Okay. Maybe you guys can watch this recording, or maybe we don't give it to nobody, so you guys just try to get tempted. I don't give recordings to any of my reps or anything. They don't get it. They either show up or they don't get it. So, a buyer, what are the 2 states? Do I have anybody's attention? What are the 2 states I said a buyer could be in? If anybody's listening. Nobody in the front. They're hyping you up, and what was the other one? They fool you or they don't give you anything. Wait, let's forget the actual term. Why? So I know everybody's on page. Why would somebody do that? Why would somebody say, hey, by the way, I was looking at your listing. Can you show it to me right away? Why would somebody do that? Maybe they want to get something on Snapchat or on Instagram. Why else? People get fooled all day. Why else? Compare, price, right? And then what happens with a more junior rep? What do? Boom, right away. They're like, oh my God, yes, it's gonna be a sale, right? So they do unpaid consulting for 18 weeks. Oh man, I have this deal, man. It's gonna, no, you don't. Why did you send him 85? You're doing unpaid consulting. You don't know exactly what he wants. He's ripping you through the sale. He's controlling you. So, number one is an over-embellished buyer, let's just say. They hype you up. What's number two? What was the other one? I don't know this stuff. Help me out.
Doesn't give any information.
Yeah, why would they do that? So they defend it. Why would they do that? No, because... Say it again? Yeah, that's it. You haven't broken, most people can't break a barrier of defense, which 99% of people are in. That's why last night I made a video at 3 a.m. on the balcony sweating because it's hot here. I'm like, see, you gotta take off his jacket. He's like, holding the camera. And I'm like, okay, team, this is why nobody buys from you guys. So I said last night on the video, I said, no, everybody's supposed to defend their cards. Nobody's supposed to buy any products from you. Nobody's supposed to buy homes from you. And I said, who lied to you guys? Who lied when you got into real estate that you were supposed to make a lot of money? Somebody fooled you guys saying, oh yeah, I'm going to support you, but forget it, your family and friends are going to buy from you. So here's the deal. This is why I said people are supposed to not buy your property. People are not supposed to buy your products. People aren't supposed to like your posts. Because we're programmed not to do it. And then somebody wrote on the thing, he's like, no, but we're programmed to be consumers. No. We're programmed to buy stuff without a salesperson. But the moment a salesperson comes involved, we're programmed to get that guy away from me, get that girl away from me. The last thing I want to do, especially in today's day and age, is talk to a salesperson. The last thing I want to do. Sorry to kill out you guys' dreams. It's the last thing I want to do. So I said, now, you can either complain about it, say, well, no, but it's great because the same way I said people weren't programmed to buy, you also weren't programmed to become a good salesperson. So only the weak person quits. Nobody encouraged you to become a salesperson when you're young. So we were born to lose this whole game of sales. Nobody was grown to win good at sales. So you're programmed to quit the moment somebody defends your card. So watch this. People are maniacs in sales. Like, watch. If I were to walk into Dubai Mall today, and I'm walking into a store, first thing, somebody comes up to me, what do they say? If I'm walking into Dior, what does somebody say to me? How can I help you? What's my response? Anthony said $100, fuck off, I'm just looking. That's exactly what he said. So that's why we come and drop you the F-bomb. So that's exactly what happens. Daniel says, no thank you, I'm just looking. And then what does salesperson say? So I'm in defense mode. Heck no, I'm not looking. A friend called me up and said, I need these shoes, I know exactly maybe what I'm going in for. Maybe, who knows? This is how much I'm spending, this is how much I'm going in for. I'm not doing over $15,000 today in the mall. I know exactly what I'm spending, I know kind of what I want, but no thank you, I'm just looking. Programmed, right? Just on like a robot. Right? So what does the salesperson do? What he or she does? Are you looking for something printing? Whoa! We never even sold clothes, half of us, and we know the lines. Are you looking for anything in particular? No, thank you, I'm just looking. Okay, well, next line comes out. It starts to come on. I know the next line is coming out. Okay, well, if you need anything, my name's Janice, my name's Mark, and I'm in the back. Thank you, Mark, get out of here. And then you just go on to your shopping. Hey, can I help you with any size? I know my size, thank you so much. And then you go right to the fitting room. I wanted to ignore that person. Why? You know what's crazy about this? Wait, you know what's crazy? Not only did I ignore that lady, Janet and Mark, at Dior this morning, that crazy lady and crazy Mark is going to do the exact same thing to the next customer that walks in the door. Hi, sir, so can I help you with anything? No, thank you. F off, like Anthony said. Here's $100. F off, I know my size, I'm just looking. And she does it again, he does it again, he does it again, he does it again. That's insanity. Where's the person that comes up to them and says, hey, Mark, by the way, this opening line that you're using, it's not fucking working. Change it. That's it. Everybody's saying the same. That's insanity. Saying the same thing, hearing the same response back. It's sanity. It's not how you deal with somebody that says, no, thank you, I'm not interested. It's why you're getting, no, I'm not interested in the first 5 seconds of conversation. Don't go up to me and say, Daniel, how do you deal with the objection? No, thank you, I'm not interested. Whoa, you heard it 18 times. You were screwing up in the first 5 minutes. It's not how you deal with the objection, it's why you're getting the objection. So what's happening here when I'm walking in? She could literally break it because I'm in defensive mode. Break me. Tear me down. Don't loosen me up. Oh my God, where are you guys coming in from? Why does he have you guys look like you're going to an event. Where are you going? Holy jeez, by the way, did you guys go see the fountain outside? You guys are from the same, everything but the product. The moment you make it about the product, I don't want to buy the product from you anymore. The problem is she didn't recognize him in the defense stage, which everybody walks into. And I'm just saying this on a very micro scale. I'm not saying this on a macro scale, but sometimes I have to understand that my job is to break that right away. With every single person, how do I break somebody top to bottom in the first 2.5 seconds? And you just get better at that. You don't practice game 7 winning shot in game 7. Meaning you play this game when everybody walks by you. I know I look weird right now. You're like, what do you mean? Like when people walk by you, you don't practice sales in sales. You do it 24/7. It's not something you turn on, you turn off. If I have to go up to this person, network with this person, how would I compliment them? How would I get into conversation with them? What would I tell them? Different than everybody else has told them in their whole life. What would I do to break their defense? Boom, compliment, right? And then there's tiers, right? So then one of my friends would say, okay, compliment. I'm like, okay, let's go a little bit deeper because she heard beautiful dress, nice pink dress, nice heels, love the shirt, the way, love the cufflinks that it says your initials, bro, that's so cool. Yes, okay, cool, everybody's done that. So everybody's observant that in 2.5 seconds, but how about if he's heard it 15 times that week? How about if she has beautiful eyes and she's heard it 1,000,000 times? You become desensitized to the compliment. So now you start getting a little bit better at your compliments. Now your compliments go from aesthetics to a little bit deeper characteristics in people. Hey, by the way, how the heck did you manage those people? Your balance, I don't know how you did that because I would not be able to do what you just did with that guy. What the heck is it that you, boom. So now I'm not just complimenting them on the beautiful red heels or the nice cufflinks or the nice shirt. I'm going a level deeper. But some people don't even know what they want inside of their business or who they want to prospect or what customer that they want to have, so we can never bring some people in. So they don't even know characteristics what to compliment people on. Deeper, think of it. If I were to come at somebody complimenting differently on the general aesthetics, boom, I hooked your brain right away. You're like, oh, nobody's ever told me that. Daniel, man, I don't know how you have high levels of energy, but then in 2.5 seconds you're able to balance it out and then tap into this way you're able to merge those things. Oh my God, nobody's ever told me that. Everybody just said energy. This person went in a little bit deeper. Does that make sense? So to me, I'm like, how can I break people's defense? Where do we get on here? Because I know we're all up here. Oh, buyers. So either you're defending or you're over-embellishing. So I said in the beginning stage of a conversation, people can either do one or two things. They can overhype you and you lost right away. Like this one. This sounds like one. So let's jump into objections for a second. Talking about the two different buyers. Oh yeah, okay, hey, perfect, Daniel. Yes, listen, this is our budget. Can you send me over all these listings within the budget? And we're ready to get started, boom, boom, boom. You start typing up all the listings, you do the hunt for them, and then you send them over 18 listings, and you're just in there now control buying. They have you just controlled. And you're like, oh my God, this is such a buyer. Or you're towards the end of a conversation and say, hey, perfect, I love it all. Can you do me one more favor? Can you summarize everything, put together everything, and then send it over to me in an email, and I'll get back to you in about a week when everything's good. Okay, perfect, let me go do that, and boom, you're inside of the conversation right away, and you're doing everything for them. And you lost all control inside of the business. Because you're just responding automatically to a customer. Why am I saying this? It's important. If somebody says, have you ever had to send me over some information on a cold call? Do people still cold call these days or no? Yeah. Do you guys still do it? Yeah. Really? Like 15 or like 100 a day? 50. Right? Pardon? 150. Dude, how many out of 150 cold calls, how many cold calls would it take to get a listing or a booked appointment? Only one. So your number is 1 in 150. I like it. Cool. Anybody else? Does anybody else know the number? Is that your actual number or you're just saying that? That's your number? 150.
As much as it takes.
As much as it takes. So do you know it or no? Kind of?
Every day is different.
Well, it depends. No, it depends in North America as a baby diapers brand name. Let's not do the depends thing inside of sales. So I don't like when somebody comes to me and they're like, well, you know, it depends. Really, go back to your last 10 book meetings. Go look at the last 10 book meetings. Out of those last 10 book meetings, how many people did it take for you to reach out to? Okay, it was 1,100. So maybe after every 120 people, you get a book meeting. Know your number. That way you know your number inside of your business. And you compete with yourself. And you don't look at Janet or Mark next to you. You just stay fucking dialed in to your number. And it's 120, so every 120 people, you get a booking. And sometimes you have to understand the law of averages in sales. Wait, this is good. Maybe it's not 120, so now you're like, oh, I get 150 and it's a book meeting. No. There's something called the law of averages with numbers as well. Any good salesperson that's been in here for a while understands this. That it's sometimes, but then, I did 1,000 and I didn't get my 12-book meeting. Stop. 1 second. Law of averages. Let you hate me a little bit more here. Sometimes, if your number is 1 in 150, and you dialed 300 people and you got nothing, and then people are like, well, Daniel, man, I did 300 today. This cold calling thing, I don't know. Well, law of averages means this. You stay long enough, you're going to win inside of business. You stay long enough in a casino in Las Vegas, you're going to lose. That's life. Stay long enough, they know the law of averages. You think you won $1,400, stay there for another hour, you lost, because it's not built on winners. They know that. You stay long enough in my casino, I'm going to clean you out, give you a shampoo, and you can leave. You think you're going to win tonight, but come back to Monte Carlo tomorrow. Please. And then you lost, because they know the law of averages. It's a perfect thing. In sales, nobody knows the law of averages. So what happens is they get discouraged after 975 calls, because they're like, well, I didn't get my 10-book deals. Yeah. But you stay long enough, you have to trust in your law of averages. Meaning if you're going to quit on the 297 call, maybe just like I was telling you 2 days ago, maybe your 3 yeses are right around the corner. 298, 299, and 300, but you quit on 297. And that's how sales always comes. It doesn't come perfectly how you want it. Stick it on long enough, it always plays out the law of averages. But nobody trusts in their numbers. So first, I look at a rep saying, what are your numbers? They don't know the numbers, they don't have a business, period. Most people wing sales. It's the worst thing to do. You think you're good, so you wing it. So you're like, well, it depends. Stop winging the business. Don't generalize it. Don't wing it. Don't complain. Let's look at the numbers. How many book meetings does it take for you to get a closed deal? Before that, how many people do you have to reach out to in order to get a book meeting? Cold business, not spoon-fed, wipe your ass, Loe gives you a lead type of business. That's baby. That's baby. That's, hey, by the way, here it is on a golden platter. I'm good at the lead that I get. Yeah, shit, everybody is. Go drum up some business now from an event. Walking to an event. But you're just on autopilot. Because you might get a lead, a cold lead, a warm lead. I'm good at the hot lead. What else do you want? Somebody to just give you the deal for it to fall in your lap? Imagine you didn't have that. You didn't have Instagram, you didn't have social media. What did our freaking grandparents do without Instagram and social media to get leads? Yes, sales existed for longer than us, this 30 years, by the way. Like there was no swipe up on Instagram, see the new listing in Dubai. It didn't exist. So how did they sell leads? Yeah, they call door to door, a freaking pager to meet somebody, a pager. So why am I saying this? It's because too many of us run on autopilot inside of our business. So maybe all of this is super easy, but your networking sucks. You suck. Let's keep it real. Sometimes I suck at it too. I'm in an elevator, I'm going to go right to the event. So maybe we're good at closing, you're good at sales. I'm the best salesperson in the world, really. You go out in the Uber, out of the Uber, you didn't talk to the Uber driver. You're good at sales? No, you're bad. How? Well, when you came to the event, and then you left the event, and nobody's in your phone book, you're good at sales. Really. So you go your whole day looking towards the end of the result of what you want, you forgot about everybody in between. So maybe we're great at sales, but we forget everybody on the left and right of us. And the problem is that everybody prejudges people, especially here. Meaning it's like, I don't know if they can buy an apartment. Get their phone number in your book. How do you know they're not going to have a referral? How do you know maybe in 3 years they don't start making a lot of money in the next 2 to 3 years? What do you know? I need to talk to everybody. The problem is that everybody's running on autopilot. I made this video once. It was a while back. I'm like, everybody's like rushing off of the plane, I said once. Everybody rushes off of the plane. And somebody's like, man, I need good people inside of my business. How do I find a good sales rep? I'm like, you want to know my best hires? She's like, who? I'm like, you want to know my best hires? I'm like, 2 people. Nurses? She's like, nurses. I'm like, yes. I'm like, second person, flight attendants. Flight attendants. I'm like, yes. Ladies crushing business. I'm like, I love my lady sales rep. If they can just freaking control the whole conversation, they destroy it. Flight attendants. She's like, why? I'm like, because they got the most patience. She's like, well, I'm like, you don't know what you want in your business, so you're never going to find somebody good inside your business because you're going to walk by the flight attendant. But I know who I want inside my business. She's like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, well, everybody rushes out of the plane. That person going up and down the aisle dealt with our ass saying, no, this is diet. You have regular, this is too much. You put a little, you have peanuts? Peanuts salted. You have unsalted, babe. What do you want? Excuse me. This girl's dealing with, this guy's dealing with everybody up and down the aisle. Perfect person to work your business. But you walk on the plane, thank you, have a good day. You just walk by another business partner. Another sales rep if you want to hire one, because you're on autopilot. That's what everybody does. They just go inside the plane, they walk on the plane. Why? Stop. hey, by the way, if that's the person you want, maybe they want out of it. This is with everything. I'm just opening up your mind. How, you know what you might stop, pause, hey, the way you just dealt with everybody, I don't know what the heck you do, but you got something which is called patience, which is freaking wicked. What else do you do aside from this? Boom, conversation. Nobody's done it. Thank you, have a good day. Boom, autopilot. Stop. How are you going to complain about leads? You just left a person, a human, somebody does another rep for you, but again, you're on autopilot. So I just look at this again on networking. There's so much money left on the table. On Instagram, in life, and I clean it all up. Don't let somebody else clean it up. Don't ignore good people. But, you know, Instagram Reels aren't working, Dan. You get 5,000 people that like it, and I only get 50. Yeah, focus on the 49 extra people that just liked it. Why are you focusing on my 5,000? 49 extra people just liked your reel. Go focus on them. And say, hey, by the way, what did you like about it? Go into them. Stop leaving your money on the table. So maybe the networking is a little bit weak. You see what I mean? How there's a whole horizontal little business, but nobody dissects it, all of it. So now when somebody comes to business, I'm going to look at everything. Okay, you're good at closing. Maybe your objection handling is a little bit off. Okay, maybe your follow-up's a little bit weird. Let's look at your presentation. Okay, let's look at your, no, but Daniel, I'm prospecting 150 people a day. Yeah, but when you're prospecting them, you're not even using their name on Instagram or an email. And you're saying, hey, by the way, just their name is not by the way. Maybe let's get a little bit better at the prospecting message. I'm just trying to find the leak in every single component of the business. Nobody wants to sit down and dissect their business. But if I really care about my business, I'm going to dissect every single component of my business. Okay, what about my prospecting? If I start at the beginning, we're going to talk about branding today as well. Now let's start at the beginning. What about prospecting? Well, maybe prospecting is off because we lose a customer in the first 2 minutes of a conversation on a cold call. Because we said we cold called here, right? So maybe every time we cold call somebody, we call 150 people and 135 are saying, no, thank you. You're not bad at closing. We're bad at opening. That's the conversation to have. The conversation is not to sit down with you, John, and talk about your closing. That shit's easy. Forget about the closing. Go give it to another rep. Why do you care about this thing? You have sales anxiety before you even sat down with a customer. You're already thinking about the close. I have to be thinking about, okay, how do I bring in so many people? I'll let somebody else close it. Toss it off to Anthony. Just get good. I'm going to watch him close it. Let me go watch him how to close a deal. Don't think about the closing thing. You don't even know how to get somebody to say hi back to you. Not even have a conversation. Forget the conversation. You don't even know how to get somebody to say, oh, what is it that you do? What are you offering? That's what I need to focus with you on, Margaret. Let's sit down for the first 20 minutes and role play this and go for 20 minutes. I need you to sit down with 10 people and break the ice with all these 10 people. Whether it's gatekeepers, whether it's an assistant, whether it's somebody that's a first-time home buyer, an international home buyer. I need you to break the ice. I need you to look at every single country. I need you to joke for every single country. What? What do you mean? No. Forget the script. Scripts are great, but structure's better. I need you to understand the structure. The script is great, but I need you to understand in the first 5 seconds, I need this person subconscious to say, I like this person. That's it. Forget the script. Okay? Let's sit down. Whoa, but I learned the script. Forget it for a second. I love it too. But now we got to get this person saying, there's something about this person that I like. Because all things being equal in business, people do business with people they like. All things being unequal, people still do business with people they like, period. That's life. I don't want to do business with somebody that's, I was going to use a bad word, somebody that I don't like. I will always do business with somebody, even logically, if the money doesn't make sense, I still don't want to pay you. If I don't like Loay, and Loay's trying to sell me on something, dude, try to sell me as much as you want, I don't want to give you my money, period. I don't care how good of an investment you got, I don't like you. I don't want to give you my money. So all things being equal in business, people do business with people they like. All things being unequal in business, people still do business with people they like. So forget the whole sale, because this is sales. It's just broken down into 90-10. That's it. It's broken down into 90-10. Because I just said this, all things being equal, people do business with people that they like. This is where the whole know, like, and trusting factor comes in. They got to know, like, and trust you. Okay, pause. Let's stop for a sec here. 90% I just said is if they like you, if they're like you, if they want to be like you. That's it. You don't have my attention. Picture this. If I was selling you guys this water right now, if I'm like, by the way, this is what gave me the energy, that I haven't slept the last 2 days, this is what's giving me this energy. You'd be like, what's in that water? Why? Because it wasn't about the water. Had nothing about the water. It was all about me. I had to knock 10% was the product and the listing. 90% was Daniel. So now when I go into a sale, I change my perception to say, wait, forget about the sale. How do I generally get this person to trust me, like me? Because 10% is the product. I know you have the best listing and you have the best prices. Cool, nobody cares. Everybody does. I know this is hard because salespeople don't like hearing it. But reality, watch what happens. Marco comes in, sits down. Man, the customer, they just didn't, they didn't want to purchase it today. Daniel, some people are coming in, they got to work out their visa situation. Stop, Marco. Yeah. They had this objection. Daniel, how would you, I don't want to hear the objection. We're not doing sales training today, Marco. Sit down, I have one question for you. Yeah, what is it, man? Did the person like you? Period. Whoa, aha. See, you're trying to give me all the fluff. Let me ask you again, because nobody's teaching you this. Did the person like you? Well, don't base your business off well.
Yeah.
See, you think it's everything else, but you can't even get to the next step because you don't even know if the person likes you. So now if I switch the training on Marco and say, Marco, let me ask you a question. Why don't you go to bed at nighttime, and instead of thinking, how do I deal with that objection, how do I deal with this objection, how do I deal with that, how do I get more buyers to trust me, stop one thing. Would you buy off yourself? And if you wouldn't, ask yourself why. Go to bed at nighttime, say, would you buy your own shit? If you wouldn't, fix up your pitch. Maybe you looked a little bit too weird, and I don't want to do business with somebody that's like, hi, my name's John Bull, you look weird. Stop it. That's why maybe the guy didn't buy. It wasn't the objection with the money. You look like a robot, nobody does business with a robot. You wouldn't buy from yourself, how do you expect a prospect to buy from you? So here's a better question to ask yourself. Go to bed at night and say, would you buy your own pitch? That's it. Would you sit down, what you were presenting in front of 15 investors, would you buy it? No? Okay, work on that thing. Why? Maybe you weren't yourself, you weren't real. I'm working on that. Forget the 10%, which is the pitch. It's the 90. How do I make it fun and engaging? Does this make sense? Everybody goes to the opposite thing. This is the stuff that people have to focus on. This is what report is. Report is two things. Process of engagement, number one. How engaged are we? Because that guy that was pitching me for 4 hours and I went on mute, there was no report. So there was no process of engagement. When you're texting a client 4 paragraphs and they say okay, and then you text them another 4, you're off report, done, no process of engagement. And report is the second thing, subconsciously I like the person, that's it. That's all report is. If I can knock that thing off, I'm good. If a cop pulls me over, well at least in America, I'm saying to the guy, okay, the guy's coming, he is gonna give me a ticket right now. I'm getting a ticket, period, point blank. I was doing 80 over the speed limit, I'm done, car's impounded. Friend, bro, don't say anything, okay? Cop comes down, I have one job. What's my job?
Negotiate.
Not negotiate. I'm not gonna defend shit. What? Just get the person to like you. That's it. In 5.5 seconds, I have to pretend like this guy's my best friend and we grew up in high school. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I gotta test it on the cop. If I do well on the cop, I'm gonna do well inside of business. And sometimes I have fun. But he says, buddy, I'm not down for the games. Passport. Shit, man. Okay. And then he comes back and I'm still gonna give it a shot. That's why I always be nice, get the person to like you. Do not negotiate, do not defend. Do not be in the, just do everything to get the person to like you. Maybe sometimes I'm gonna go right into, hey, by the way, it was my fault, but I appreciate you, being nice and letting me off for the first, for the first time, because I rarely speak, but I appreciate you being nice to me. Dude, I wasn't letting you off. No, I'm joking. Anyways, what do you need from me? I don't know, do something to get the person to break the tension. Because everybody's like, oh, I wasn't speeding. Dude, did you catch me on that live stream? Oh, you mean I was speeding? Do something. I'm just playing with myself right now. You see what I mean? Because this gets sales easy. You don't live this thing simultaneously. You don't, like most people, they split life and business. And that's where they lose. You know what I mean? Like they go into business mode and then life mode and they lost. So it becomes hard. So they go to, they're like, okay, now I'm in business. And they try to become a salesperson. You lost. You just do it 24/7. They're not split activities. You know what I mean? That's why I said you don't practice your game 7 when he shot in game 7. LeBron doesn't do that. He does it a million times. He practices it when it comes into sales. Sales is easy. It's just second nature. Because I was doing it with the cop, and the cop was the hardest sale. The cop was coming to F me. And I'm still being like, well, if I can do this, sales is easy dealing with the prospect. If I can control the cop, if every single joke, if I know a joke can break this guy down, sales is going to be a piece of cake. Sales? It's a joke. I just got a cop to get me out of 18 tickets. I literally got pulled over, I think, once a week. Last summer. I got 2 tickets. He's like, bro, you're going to get your license suspended. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm good. Because to me, this is the practice thing. So, where were we at? Somebody jogged my mind back for a second. Oh, so we're in networking. I said maybe networking and prospecting is a little bit hard. By the way, any questions? Because I know this was a lot for a second. you guys have any questions about prospecting, what I was saying? Anything? Yes, my friend.
Right, so I wrote it down just so I wouldn't forget, so just so that I don't have to identify the problems as they're happening, is there a way for me to not get to those problems before they happen?
Okay, so to anticipate a problem, eliminate it before it happens. Give me an example. What do you mean by a problem?
Well, because the situations are subjective, it depends on the client of how I speak to them and every client's different. So let's say that I do have a problem out of 50 calls and then I go to the Y to ask him, help me because this is what I've been going through with these specific clients. Is there any way that I could get insight before that happens? Because the next 50 clients might be different to the first ones that you gave me advice on.
Give me a problem.
So
I'm very slow.
for the,
I need
past,
something.
for the past 2 months, I've been having issues with a lot of objective clients just objecting and just saying, the market's down and everything. So I go to the end and tells me, well, look, try this, and that works.
Boom. Okay, let's stop. Got me going. I just take a while to click that. I'm in jet lag right now. So now you gave me the problem, which was great. We'll do Q&A as well in a second. So now you gave me the problem, which is great. I like this. So now you came up to me and you're like, Loai. So, man, a lot of people are coming up to me saying the market's slow. So now what's the first thing? You anticipate what you can eliminate. So I don't want to see this problem come up again. So now that I know that's a problem, whether I'm presenting or whether I'm prospecting, I know it's a problem. So I know towards the end of the deal, an objection it's like a reflection of how shitty we were presenting. To keep it real, like to not fluff it up. An objection towards the end of the deal is just a reflection of what we lack to communicate in the presentation. So if somebody's saying, hey, the ROI isn't there, we haven't presented price really well. If somebody's saying, the market's bad, we haven't shown them the ROI in the market over the last 10 years. So every single objection they get towards the end of a conversation, I'm going back to the presentation. What was the lack of communication in the presentation? Because if I can anticipate if I can talk about it and eliminate it, the less objection comes towards the end of the deal. Does that make sense? So now that I know every single prospect, what's your name, sir? Zayed, right? Zayed. If I know every single prospect that's coming up, not every single one, but 3 out of 50 are coming up to me and saying, well, the market, it's synced a little bit in Dubai and stuff like that. Boom, what does that tell me? What am I going to do in my next conversation? That is the first thing that I might bring up, or the second or third thing that I might bring up before it even comes out of his mouth. Because the most attractive thing to a buyer is you can tell them their thoughts in their head that they're thinking themselves, you can anticipate and eliminate it, and they're like, oh my god, this person's reading my mind. Right. Again, they're thinking, shit, this person's good. They're not thinking about, I want to do business with Zayed, not the other, So, because, have you guys ever watched this movie? Maybe you haven't. It's called What a Woman Wants. Yep. You guys watched it? Yeah. Okay, so What a Woman Wants. Who is the actor in it if you guys actually watch it? Mel Gibson. What happens in the movie? He gets shot. Legendary. He gets shot and booms in every girl's head. And he knows what every girl's thinking inside of their head. Isn't life so easy? He walks out, oh my god, he's walking like that, and he walks differently. He knows everything that's happening. And he gets his way with everything. And then it got kind of crazy. He's like, oh my god, I hate this, let me get out of it. It works the exact same thing in sales. When you can almost be in the mind of a prospect, and you're saying exactly what they were thinking inside their own head, you're like, oh shit, this is sales. You gotta know exactly what your client's saying inside their own head. Like you got shocked with it because you reverse engineered your lost conversations that you had in the past. Meaning every single lost conversation is just, it's like a thought that you have for the next conversation so it doesn't happen again. So I'm gonna explain this because I know we went fast. So if somebody's saying to me, oh, Dan, the market's slow, boom, Mel Gibson gets shot. I know all my clients are saying this. Let me just uncover it on the next call. Hey, by the way, another thing is, a lot of the recent clients that I've been partnering up with that have been coming from Poland, that have been coming from Italy, that have been coming with Germany, a lot of the first questions they were asking themselves inside their own head was, yeah, but what about the market? Because it's a great question to ask yourself, and the longevity of it, what's happening with the dips, the peaks, and the valleys. So before we even get into that, I want to eliminate that first right away, because a lot of people are thinking about that, which is, completely, it's a false spectrum. So let me show you that right away, 2 halves, boom. So you can, whenever you get inside of your business and you're hearing a comment, sometimes you gotta raise it up and eliminate it early on. That's it, in a conversation. And you still, notice how I had my posture. So posture means that, realize that I didn't back down in the conversation and say, hey, you might be thinking about the market. Do you guys know how I held my posture? I'm doing it subconsciously, but I held my posture in that conversation. I know you guys think I just ranked on, but there's every single word that comes out of my mouth has specific intention. I feel like some people look at me like I'm crazy. So what that means is I said this. I said, hey, by the way, no, wait. I'm going to do a giveaway right now. Whoever answers this is going to win something towards the end of today. If you can answer it. If anybody's on my crazy level right now. What did I say to hold my posture in that 5 seconds? No. Kind of. Still, I said something. See, you guys got to be quick.
The giveaway.
The giveaway? Oh, well, wait, who said that? Boom!
What is it?
So he heard it. I just said, hey, by the way, the last 3 people that we just partnered up with that came over to Dubai, boom, I'm staying in my posture. Sometimes, because this is sales, who's winning the dance? Sales is just a dance. Who wins the dance? I need to stay leading the dance. Who's leading it? Either the customer leads her or Daniel leads the dance. So I gotta constantly lead the dance with high posture, so I'm not losing it, even if it's an objection. Hey, so how long have you been selling? Who's here been selling for under a year? Shit, that's a hard question. Who here has ever gotten that? So how long have you been doing this for? Have you gotten it? Yes? Okay, so what do you say? No, but if you're under a year, what do you do? So how many deals have you done? What do you say? What is it? You lie? How if you've done 0? How if you've done 0? So what do you do? If you've done 1, what do you do? You fake it till you make it, you say 18 and then you realize it went back in your profile, you're like, let's go again. What do you do?
You're honest.
You're honest, yeah, but then what? Then you say 1 and they're like, who's talking about this thing? You've been in sales all your life. Okay, cool. Okay. So how long have you been doing this for, man? Well, I've been in sales all my life. Nice. How many deals have you done? Like, how many deals have you done? That's what I'm doing, because I'm like the challenger guy. I want to know everything. I just kind of want to know how the person's going to deal with me. I don't even care. If the person's solid, I don't even care if it's 1 deal, because I really don't.
Look about the mentors you had and who teach you about something.
I don't know about that one, dude. Because I haven't been in sales for a while, but this is my mentors.
I'll give an average, like I'll do 2 deals per month.
Guys, this is good, by the way. As much as you guys think, yes, I'm having fun with you guys, but this is good because this is real life. And sometimes you're going to have to train somebody else on this, and it just duplicates out.
I will ask him before I close you or after it. So like for this 1 deal, will I add it to my 4 numbers?
So, the point I'm trying to get to here is when somebody gives you a question, remember when I said it's a dance, right? So now, customer asks you a question, and now you get what? Pushed back into this corner. And then you're like, well, I've been in it for a year. Push back into the corner. Nice. So let me see your deals. Well, I've done 1 deal, push back into the corner. And then another one, pipeline. And then you just keep answering. So now you're in this corner to the moment phone hangs up. And
Maybe answer them in a way like, well, I was doing sales my whole life, and then I got into this because I love this, and it's go on to the whole story, and then somehow you end up about the kids, and oh my God, the kid's 6 and
Okay.
this, and because they're at school all this.
so you're diverting. Okay. So what? I like this. What? Yeah. Now we're getting a little bit better. Why can't we just? Why is it that we can't just be like boom? I know exactly what to say. You say this, I know exactly what to say. So now I'm not winging it. And it's not just by the word, it's just structure. If somebody says, hey man, Dan, so how long have you been doing this for? And it's been 1.5 years, 2 deals, or it's been 4 months and I have 1.5 deals, or it's been 8 months and I have 3 deals. My brain goes to 2 things, just like he said. Be honest, or she said, be honest. And now start what? Stroking your posture and get back into a conversation. Watch. How long have you been doing this for? Well, I've been doing it. It's funny that you asked that, because my last clients that we just onboarded and serviced about 1.5 months ago, they were freaking shocked when I told them I've only been in the game for the last year. And the last 4 people that I told that to only partnered up with me because of 3 different things. Number 1, It's because I understood the whole market in Dubai and everything that was going up in it. Number two, I understand this. And number three, I understand this. Every time you're looking for a deal, are those three things important to you when you're looking for a deal? Done. I don't sell real estate, by the way. Low hire me. But what I'm saying is like, so what I'm trying to give you guys is it's a structure. I just know that, hey, by the way, this person trying to push back me into a corner, I just gotta say, hey, I'm gonna be honest, but I'm not gonna get pushed back into a corner. I'm gonna hold my posture. And I held it properly where I said, hey, by the way, these are the three reasons why somebody partnered up with me. When you look at a deal and investment, are those things important to you when you're looking at a deal investment? Or to you, what fits into your criteria where you know it's gonna be a sound investment? Boom, conversation done. Nobody gives a shit about that I've been for years. Done, out. And you didn't lose the posture on it. So, highest point of control is making a prospect feel like they're in control. It's control at the end of the day. You make other people feel like they're in control. That's the highest form of control in sales. I know it sounds a little bit weird, but the highest point of control is to make your prospect feel like they're in control. When somebody says send me over information, you're automatically starting to lose a posture. So then you start doing everything that the salesperson starts telling you. So if they say send me over some information, you're like, perfect. Okay, what's your email? Okay, I'm gonna send you over information, and you start sending over this thing. And now you do the unpaid consulting thing. But if you have a structure in your head to say, what is an objection meeting? What's an objection meeting? What is an objection meeting?
Excuse.
It's an excuse? It might not be an excuse, because what it could really mean, it could be, what does it mean?
It's a question.
It's uncertainty. To me, all this means is this. In my head, I'm not going to sell myself, because when an objection comes in, it's the battle of your beliefs, not the customer. Customer doesn't matter. It's what you're thinking inside of your head. So now I got to convince myself of one thing. If I want to keep selling, what do I have to convince myself of? No, that my customer's confused and they haven't seen enough value. That's it. That's the only thing I can convince myself if I want to keep the conversation going for a little bit longer. I have to convince myself that I have not showed this person up or they're confused about something. So when they give me an objection, the first thing that goes through my head so I can continuously sell this person is John is confused about something in the process because he obviously doesn't see what the last 18 investors just seen as to why they bought with us. That's it. He's confused about something. But what did I say your job is in sales? The highest form of control is making a prospect feel like they're in control. The problem is that when most people get an objection, they start defending and negotiating right now. Yeah, right now, after everything you just showed me, I'm not in the time to buy. Yeah, but why? I really think you should. Why are you defending it? Stop. It's over. Your job is not to try to keep selling them. Your job is to get at their frequency. There's a certain energy in a conversation. When most people start defending an objection, they lost the energetic feeling inside the conversation. They can't feel it. So they start defending it and say, no, but now is the right time to buy. Whoa, you're off the frequency. Their frequency is I'm not buying. Your frequency is matching I'm not buying. That's it. But if you start defending, you're off their frequency. So what's my job? If they say, hey, by the way, great everything that you showed me, wrap everything up into an email, and shoot me off, let's stay in touch over the next 4 months, follow up with me, salesperson, yes, okay, perfect, or I'm gonna get started in a month, whatever they say to you. What's your job? Highest form of control, making the prospect feel like control. Give it to them. Let me tell you guys something. Anytime you give a prospect or a customer an out, that's when they come back in. So when you don't make people feel claustrophobic inside of a conversation, that's when you propel them towards you. Meaning when you don't make feel somebody like they have to buy something or do something, that's when you start doing something. Law 101 since we were freaking 18. Don't show your interest. Show more interest, the girl doesn't want you. The guy that hunts the girl is not getting it. Sorry, ladies. You don't want what's easy, right? The problem is now when you get into sales, especially ladies, that's why I say you guys are 10 times better than us. We're the dummies. We're the stupid ones. We don't get it. Y'all been playing with us forever. We're the dummies. We're black, white, this, that, A, B. You guys have all this energetic feeling. You can feel a frequency, right? Better than us. But it's just the way you channel your energy inside a business. Because if you really have an intuition, which is a feeling of energy, I can say, oh, this person's going to now object me. Because you get this. You know when a guy's like, oh, he's chasing me now, I'm done. Let me show this, let me show that, and we're just the dummies, black, white. Dude, I think she likes me. She doesn't like you, dude. She said hello. So why am I saying this? Is because when somebody gives me an objection, now I'm like, there's an energy. They're at negative, leaving the door, energy, not buying. You're at, I gotta sell this person. Nope, you should be at negative, not leaving the door, they're not buying, leave it at that. Hey Bob, listen, first of all, I respect you just being honest. Thank you for being honest. I'm gonna summarize everything and put it into an email. Let me ask you a question. See, I'm giving Bob an exit now. Let Bob exit the conversation. Don't make your client feel claustrophobic like they gotta do anything. When you give them the exit, that's when they come back in. Sometimes. Hey Bob, by the way, let me get Janet, my assistant, to send you over an email by the end of today. I don't even have an assistant, it's my second week, so let me get Janet, my assistant. By the way, what's your email so I can send it down to her so she can send it off to you? Well, it's Janet at 123 sellingdubai@gmail.com. Perfect. I'm gonna send you out this email. And by the way, Janet, in the email or whatever, I can't remember what can my assistant put in that email? That way, the whole email doesn't generate a whole shit ton of questions and it does answers. I don't want to fire you off an 18-page email because I know you're not going to read it. You're busy like myself. You and I have worked out at half times. You want the facts and the figures. What can I put inside of that email? That way, when you go over it, you can really look at it and marinate it over the next week and a half to 2 weeks. That it's going to be valuable for you. What do you actually want to see so I can make it short and sweet so she can put it in towards the end of the day? Well, do you want me to put more about exactly how the market's looking over the next year and a half? Do you want me to put exactly what are the best things to buy, or do you want me to put a little bit more about this? What can she put exactly? That way it doesn't generate a lot more questions and it does answers. Well, Daniel, have her put, because I was a little bit skeptical about the market in Dubai. Boom! Again, I'm weird. This shit hypes me up. It wasn't email! It had nothing to do with email! She just gave me the objection, which was the market in Dubai. But if I didn't give her the exit in the conversation, I would have never got the bare naked truth of the objection. Do you guys see what I mean? So I said, hey, leave, but by the way, right before you leave, what was it really? Because the whole job of an objection is to get back inside of a conversation. That's my whole job. Just get back into a conversation, add specific value. Where's the actual problem? Oh, it's on the Dubai investment properties, high, low, I thought it was she didn't have the money, but you didn't ask. You fell for the smoke. You didn't fall, what was she actually hesitant and confused about? But when I elicit things, are you guys with me on board? Yes. Okay. So now when I elicit something, like what they could be confused about, because the salesperson asked the hard questions, they start giving me the real answer. Because I said, hey, by the way, you can leave right before you leave. Tell me what Janet needs to put in an email. Then she tells me the actual truth. Now I get back inside our conversation. And I try to solve that. That's all you have, by the way. There's no, you're going to get the deal, you're not going to get the deal. No. As a job, as a business owner, you just do your best. That's it. You do your best. That's it. I'm doing my best to handle the objection in a different format. I'm trying to elicit what other clients were confused about and then bring that up on a conversation. Make sense? So I always make a prospect feel like they can exit. That's my job. When I'm prospecting, what the heck is this? Okay, so I was going to go back and keep writing, but it's a waste. When you're prospecting, what's your job? Give them an open, give them an exit. It's the exact same thing. Get them to like you, talk a little bit about it, don't talk a lot about it, and then give them the exit. How do you give them an exit? So in objection handling, I have the same structure. Let them feel like they can leave. In prospecting, I have a structure. Give them the opening, get them really curious about something, but also give them an exit. What does exit mean? So remember what I said, why don't people buy something? Because they feel what? Trapped. They feel claustrophobic. So in prospecting, I'm going to get to a lot of questions. Just hold them for me, and we can just rip these questions all day today if you guys want to stay and rock out with me. I can do this till midnight if you guys want to stay. I like it. Good. Okay? I really will. I'm not joking. I had an event in Miami. It ended at 6. People were in their seats till 1 a.m. They were trying to go eat. I said, guys, what are you doing? Next week, come on. Let's go. Because to me, this is my game. So I don't do it like, there's a big difference. To me, this is my game. To some people, it's like work. It's my game. This is game mode. When I treat it like game, I can play soccer 24/7 because I fucking like my game. I don't want nobody to beat me. I'm playing this game. I'm not playing. When people are like, don't compare, fuck that. I'm comparing and competing. That's it. I'm not gonna, sorry, I know I dropped that, but when people are like, don't compare yourself to anybody or don't compete with, are you kidding me? Go be that for the baby in business. What do you mean don't compete or don't compare? I'm looking at the top dog and saying, how do I wipe this guy in the next 2 years? And if you're a little wuss inside of business, you're not gonna compete and compare. if you're saying, if it gets you discouraged, wait, if somebody gets you discouraged, really, like forget the bullshit that people put on Instagram, you know, you shouldn't compete. No. If somebody at the top gets you discouraged, you shouldn't be in business in the first place, okay? I should be exactly who I want to be like and say, hey, I respect that person's position, but the moment they take their foot off the pedal, I'm about to go on this stage for 15 hours of speed, and you're not going to beat me. That's the way business should be because it's a sport to me. Anybody good in sports, if you ever played sports, you got to look at the person, even though you know you're about to get your ass kicked, you can't think about that. As the underdog, I still said, I'm going to kick these people's ass. If I don't think that, I'm going to get my ass kicked. I had a fighter on my stage last week, his name's Andre Berto. He fought Floyd Money Mayweather on the 49-0 fight. So when Floyd went 49-0, it was Andre Berto that fought him. And I said, dude, when you know you're going up to fight Floyd Money Mayweather, which you can't touch the guy, you try to punch him, he's just moving. The guy's unbeatable, 49-0. And he has the circus, meaning like he has the show. Like, not is it only Floyd? He comes with the show, the circus with him. So he's even more intimidating. Like this is business. People come with a circuit. They look bigger than what they are. They're at the very end, you sit down with them, you're like, oh, they're nothing. But they come with a circus. Marketing, So I'm like, but what are you thinking about when you enter that ring with him? Like, what are your actual thoughts before you go to bed at nighttime? Because that is important. Because I said, if you go up to a press conference, right, and you're like, well, you know, have you ever seen a fighter in life sit down at a press conference and say, you know, Floyd's a good fighter. I think he's going to take me. You know, he's been, you know, 49-0. You know, he's good. You have to sit down. He's like, no, dude, I sit down, I look at Floyd, and I try to say, he's never touching me. Whatever he comes with me at that night, I'm going to dodge it and hook him right or hook him left. I can't show any sign of weakness. The moment he shows that, it's going to show up inside of the ring because it's a thought going through his head. It's going to come in the real world. So I said sales and business, it's just a sport. Do you understand? I said you can't go up into a press conference and be like, oh, this person's the best. You got to know, even as the underdog, I'm kicking his ass. And that's what's his thought. He's like, dude, when I went to bed at nighttime, I'm like, what was your thought when you went to bed at nighttime and you're like, I'm fighting Floyd Money Mayweather for the biggest bag of your career, for the most money of your career, what did you think about? He's like, dude, when I went to bed, I think about exactly how I'm going to right hook him in the chin, and he was going to be, and it was going to be blood. I said, even though, did it happen? No, Floyd won. But who has a better odds at winning? Him thinking about him laid out on the floor with a cracked jaw, or the person that says, I don't know if Floyd's good. That guy, he lasted 12 rounds. That's important to me, because I say, man, sales and business, it's the exact same thing. You can't look at people and idolize people. You gotta respect people, but know you can pass them. That's it. That's the way business works. How did I get on this? Oh, talking about standing on stage for 15 hours, yes. It's a game for me. You guys have to play the game. You gotta fall in love with the game or you're gonna quit it. If this doesn't feel like a game for you, then you're eventually gonna quit. You gotta have the game. You know, my heart's a lot of money. Because you're in the best profession in the world, which is sales. Right? But nobody's gonna prep you for this game when you're young. So, let's keep going. You guys want to break actually you guys want to break quickly? Let's break. Let's break right now. How many of you guys want to break? You guys can break. How long do you want to take? It's up to you guys. Or you can have it.
Alright guys, so we've been getting out the business. It's awesome. We're going to do lunch now. We're going to take 30 minutes. Let's grab some lunch, enjoy. We'll be back with